Welcome to San Diego, and today I'm going to go over how to live affordably in San Diego. Stay tuned. Hey guys, so I'm in the lovely Imperial Beach area of San Diego, and I'm going to just go over a few tips, just things that I've done in the past or things that I'm doing now or things that you can do to help you live comfortably and affordably in San Diego. So I'll just get right into it. So this is going to be from the standpoint of renting only because I don't own a home yet, so I can't really comment on owning a home in San Diego or anywhere else in the country. So, you know, kind of keep that in mind as you're reviewing these steps. It's really mainly going to be based on those that are renting. From my standpoint, usually singles, you know, not those that are you know, that have a family, because there might be a lot of differences with that. Number one is housing. So choose housing that is going to be best for your specific needs. So what I mean by that is if you are a people person, maybe consider getting a roommate. If you like living with other people, getting a roommate or getting multiple roommates can make San Diego extremely affordable. If you are a homebody, let's say maybe you don't want to live with roommates, but you really like to stay at home a lot, maybe you can put a little bit more of your money investing that into wherever you're renting, whatever your rental space is, whether it be location or just the space itself, you know, hardwood floors or whatever you prefer. And then on the same token, if you're more so someone like me, I'm the type of person that's more so always out and about, so I actually chose to get a smaller place to rent, something that's more affordable so that I can spend more of my money outdoors and going places. The second tip would be knowing what you spend on a regular basis and then creating a budget around that and sticking to it. So knowing what you spend money on gives you a better idea of how you can kind of separate your money. If you have a lot of your money going to eating out, then that gives you a good sense of how much money you should set aside for eating out. How much do you spend on groceries? How much do you spend in gas? That gives you kind of a good kind of outline of where you should set your limits for budgeting. And budgeting is extremely important. So I actually recommend doing a budget for it at least once a month at the longest. If not, if you can do it, I would say every paycheck. That's specifically how I set up my budget. It's definitely every paycheck. That way I know within a shorter period of time how much I can actually spend, and it keeps me in line so that I don't overspend the next time that I get paid. And of course, sticking to the budget is even more important than having the budget in the first place, because you really want to make sure that you account for everything that you're spending. So, you know, you make sure that you include even the tiniest of things. If you go to a vending machine every day and get a candy bar for $1, that really can add up. So you want to make sure that you add anything at all that you're spending in your budget. Make sure that you account for it so you know exactly where you are. And the good thing is that you always know how much money you have, you always know how much money you can spend, and it kind of helps with, you know, long-term savings, paying bills, that sort of thing. Now, as you know, San Diego is a fairly expensive area, and by fairly I mean very. It's not that far off from the Washington DC area where I'm from, so I'm kind of used to budgeting the same way from where I was living before to where I'm living now, and I actually think just within the last few months that I most often spend less in San Diego than I did when I was living in the Washington DC area, but the main reason is because I stick to the budget that I set for myself. Another reason that I think I spend a little bit less in the San Diego area is coming into the third tip. So the third tip would actually be to take advantage of free. There are tons of free things that you can do pretty much anywhere you live. In San Diego especially, I do take advantage of free events, free opportunities, things that just don't cost any money at all. For example, today I'm at Imperial Beach. The pier is right behind me. I'm just hanging out. It's me and Holiday. She's right here. Say hi, Holiday. And we're just you know, chilling at the beach. It's a beautiful day. It's about 76 degrees, and it's in January. So that right there, I mean, you can't get any more free than that. I mean, we're not spending any money. Yeah, we spent a little bit of money on gas to get here, but in terms of my budgeting, in terms of how much gas allowance I allow myself to get, you know, to and from work and then out and about, you know, to enjoy playtime, it's really a nice advantage. So with that being said, I definitely recommend checking out wherever you live, checking out the calendar within your county, or you know, seeing what free events they have, free concerts. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, you're gonna have more free things, I would imagine, in the summer months than you would in the winter months, but you can still find free things to do during the winter. For example, when I was at home, you know, back in the DC area, you know, I didn't really have access to the beach in January. You can't go to the beach in January. I mean, you can, but it's really, really cold. But I would do things like host game nights, you know, board games or video game nights, or, you know, just hanging out with my best friend, singing karaoke all night costs you nothing. So you got to take advantage of free, especially when you're trying to stick to a budget, because once you get to a point where maybe you've exhausted your budget earlier than you thought you would, you don't want to just be, you know, confined to staying in the house because you don't have any more money. So, you know, just take advantage of the free opportunities that there are. So my next tip, tip number 4, is to not avoid some larger startup costs that could be big savings later on. So what I mean by that is, for example, when I first moved to San Diego, I bought a portable washing machine. Now, if you don't know what that is, a portable washing machine is basically like a washing machine that you can just plug into any outlet. You fill it up with water. It doesn't fill itself, but you have to manually fill it with water. And then it churns your clothes like a normal washing machine would do. And then my unit has a spin dryer. So instead of it using heat to dry my clothes, it spins the clothes. It kind of wrings the water out of the clothes, and then I line dry my clothes. So that washing machine was about, I want to say $150, $160, which is not too bad, but it's a hefty startup price. You know, you're buying a unit. Not everybody will have $160 on hand, but I budgeted for that and I purchased it, and the main reason was so that I didn't have to use laundromats. Laundromats in San Diego are expensive. Laundromats anywhere really are expensive, and honestly, I hate going to the laundromat. It's time consuming. You really have to use, you know, a lot of coin or deal with a lot of coin. It's just kind of annoying process, you know. So I really am glad that I purchased the portable washing machine because it helps me wash clothes. And now the only time I have to go to the laundromat is when I'm washing something larger like my bedding. And so that really is helpful in terms of savings, because I'm not spending, you know, $20, $30 every single time I have to go to the laundromat. Another example is when I first got here, I did a lot of kind of testing the waters in terms of activities, and then what I found myself going back to a lot was biking. And so I would go to the beach and rent a bike at the boardwalk, which would cost like maybe $8 to $10 for the whole day, or maybe $8 for the hour, and I would rent a bike and I would return it. So eventually I said to myself, why do I keep spending $8 to $10 on renting a bike when, hello, it's San Diego. I'm going to be biking often. You know, it's something that I really like doing. So I ended up investing money and buying a bike. Now, it's not an expensive bike. It's not $1,000 and something bike, but it is something that I really love, and I ended up putting some money into it over time, like switching my tires out and upgrading certain things. And I really ride my bike maybe on average 2 times a week now that it's winter time, but in the summertime I was riding my bike maybe 4 times a week. So it's really a good investment. So don't be afraid of the startup cost. That could save you money later. And one of the main things about budgeting and trying to save money, or just trying to live comfortably in an expensive area, is that you don't give up things that you love. You know, one of the things, like I said, that I like is biking, so I invested in a nice bike. If one of the things that you like is designer shopping, don't give that up completely. You know, just make sure you have a budget set for how much you want to spend for designer shopping. So that brings me to the next item on the list, which is cut corners where you can. So you kind of want to figure out what are your must-haves. You know, what are the things that you absolutely cannot give up, or you absolutely do not want to give up? The things that keep you sane. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. You know, the younger me would have said video games. You know, I would have to have, you know, my new PlayStation and my new games that just came out, you know. But, you know, you have to figure out what it is for you. You know, everybody has their certain things that they cannot budge on. Now, it depends on you as a person on what those things are, so you definitely want to make sure that you figure it out early on, because that helps with creating your budget, and that helps you to cut corners with other things that may not be so, you know, so much of a necessity. So one of the things that I actually love is eating out. That's one of my must-haves. I do not ever want to give up eating out on a pretty regular basis. So the way that I cut corners with that is, instead of eating out every single day, all day, I do spend money on groceries, and I do cook for myself, even though I really honestly do not like cooking. But I'll cook for, you know, certain days of the week, and then I'll eat out other days of the week. Not only that, but instead of me eating out all day on a day that I eat out, maybe I'll choose just lunch or dinner, or maybe even breakfast or brunch, and I'll eat out that one meal. Another way that I cut corners is with television. I don't watch a lot of TV. As I said, I'm more of a person that's out and about pretty much all the time. I really only pay my rent so that I can sleep there, and now a little bit more because I have a puppy, and I'm a little bit more, you know, I'm at home more for her. But normally I don't spend a lot of time watching television, so I don't pay for cable, and it's not a necessity for me. It's pointless for me to pay for cable, and I'm not there to watch TV. As a matter of fact, I wasn't paying for internet until about a couple of days ago, so I spent 9 months here with no internet. What I did was I just basically used my cell phone. I have a smartphone, and I would use the internet that way, and that's pretty much all I needed. And if I needed to update my phone or something, I'd just pop into a Starbucks or a McDonald's, and I'd update my phone that way, and it got me by pretty well. The main reason that I'm getting internet now is just because, again, I have a puppy now, and I'm going to be home a little bit more than I was when I first got here. Now I'm paying for internet, but it's not a large bill. It's very inexpensive. It's something that I could have paid for when I first got here, but why pay for something that you don't really need? That's the whole point of budgeting. I also do my own hair all the time. I haven't gone to a salon in years, since I've been natural, actually. And even when I wasn't natural, I didn't go to a salon that much. My best friend did my hair for a lot of years. So now I do my own hair. I actually alternate with getting my nails done. Right now they are professionally done, but I do not always have professionally done nails. So if you're the type of person who is not so much concerned with nails or hair, then that could be a way that you can cut corners. That's definitely helpful for me, because I don't really care if my nails are professionally done. Another good thing that you can do is coupons. I do a lot of couponing, especially shopping wise. I do like to shop. I like buying new clothes. So I always take advantage of coupons that I get sent to my email, and then I also take advantage of sales. So, you know, again, it's kind of that mentality of why spend more when you can spend less. If you know that you want to get that new bag or that new pair of shoes, but you don't really want to spend, top dollar for it, wait until that store or that company has a sale, and then try it then. I mean, why not get a fraction of the price off when you can do that? So that comes down to the close of this video, you guys. I'm not gonna lie to you, I've always been kind of a frugal person, so budgeting is not something that's new to me. It's something I've kind of been doing my whole life, and the main reason is just because I enjoy it. I don't think that budgeting is something that I do just so that I can live in San Diego, because I've always lived on a budget. I like to live on a budget because it keeps me grounded. It gives me a better understanding of where my money is going and where I need it to go and how much I'm spending on certain things. And that's the whole point of this video, is regardless of your income bracket, I think that it is San Diego is a place that is affordable if you really want it. You know, pretty much anywhere you go, you can make it happen if you really want it to happen. So, you know, just remember that if San Diego is something that's for you, don't let the economy, don't let you know, what you see about San Diego, what you hear about San Diego, the taxes in San Diego, don't let that deter you, because you can make it work. You just really have to stick to the budget. And San Diego is a place where I really want it to be. It's not the cheapest place to live. It's one of the most expensive places to live in this country, but I'm living it and I'm making it here, and I don't make a ton of money. So, you know, I think if I can do it, you can do it. You know, just make sure you factor in the things that are things that, you know, your must-haves. Like I said, don't give up things that you really love to do, because then you're not really living. And right now I'm loving life being here. I don't give up anything that, you know, I absolutely love to do. It's really a nice place to be. It's very comfortable living for me. I love it here. But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day.